All right. We are going here for our severe weather coverage of potentially big time severe weather event here today. I did kind of redo our stream stuff a little bit, so you might notice a few things are different. But not really in the UI portion, more on the radar portion of everything here. So we're gonna Alright. So we just got a new tornado warning in Nebraska right here. Yeah, alright. So, as you can see, we got some smooth radar too. But I think I'm gonna turn that off here. So, alright, here's our hook right in here. This is currently probably, definitely our most dangerous storm at this point. So we're gonna get... Alright. So, we currently have three mesoscale discussions active right now. We'll go over those in a minute here, but we do have a tornado warning here for Sioux Falls and Harrisburg in Iowa and South Dakota. Let's have an extremely dangerous situation, severe thunderstorm warning for 80-mile-an-hour winds. If we just go back a little bit, we will be able to see why this was issued. But I'm concerned because if you look here, kind of see all of this energy kind of goes like that. Kind of goes like this, right? Just gets shoved up into this storm. So this will likely become this is gonna be our dominant storm here. Probably for a while in this area. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But right now we do have a tornado possible, considerable severe thunderstorm warning active as well for this storm. If we look to the south back at this tornado warning storm here near Grand Island, Nebraska, rotation seems to be it's pretty right now our area of interest is right around here, but man, so there's our area of interest. You can see there is some reds and greens here, but they're not very close together. They need to really tighten up for that to be a considerable tornado threat here. Oh. Alright, so we are starting to see that rotation tighten up a little bit here. But we really have two major areas to be looking at right now. And let's look at our outlook actually real quick here. So we have an enhanced risk of severe weather today. Borderline moderate risk, as we do have a 15% Sig 1 tornado threat, which in the old system, I believe March 2nd, 2026, would be a moderate risk. Tomorrow we do have a moderate risk though. We'll go over that in a minute. We also have a 45% Sig 1 wind risk here, mostly for this line that we're looking at right now. If we look at our hail risk, we have a very oddly shaped 30% hail risk here. 30% Sig 1 hail risk. But right now, our kind of tornadic supercell is entering a more favorable environment here for severe weather. So this could become, one of our more dominant storms here. Just need to wait and see. If we look, we can see some cumulus towers, and then these two storms go up. Alright. So this storm on velocity really doesn't look too tornadic. I'm not seeing a definitive area where we would be looking for rotation. Maybe right in this area near Harrisburg, but it's really hard to tell with that storm. So we're gonna head back down here near Cairo, Nebraska, for our tornadic supercell. This Alright, this tornado warning was just updated near Harrisburg. Just closed down. It's kind of borders a little bit here, as we can see. I kind of used to be more out here. Now it's more tucked in like this. You can see that if we just go back a scan. Where I was more out, and I was just in a bit more. Not. Other than that, no differences here. I will say we're not seeing a whole lot of lightning with this storm. As we can see, we have a much more lightning up in this storm. You can see the lightning with these little dots right in here. But you do have some lightning kind of sprinkled around the storm, just not a whole lot. You can see our boundary right here. Here's our boundary. See another boundary right behind it over here. So this storm right here is forming off of this boundary. This storm's forming off a whole different boundary, but they kind of converge here. So that's something to note. These two boundaries kind of converge here. Man, that thing looks crazy on reflectivity. We'll wait for the next scan, but as of the current velocity scan, which isn't quite updated yet. Oh, there it is. It's definitely starting to tighten up right in here. Yeah, that's gonna be our area of interest as we go to the next couple minutes. Let's go back up to Sioux Falls. I am starting to see a couple areas of rotation here near the Prairie Green Golf Course in the Sioux Falls Christian School. There'd be another one. It's a little bit further south near, uh, near just north of Harrisburg here. A, oh, okay. That's looking just straight at the road. That's not helpful. All right. Also, if you are in this light green polygon in Springfield, dang, in Springfield, Colorado, yeah, you are under an evacuation immediate warning for a fast-moving wildfire approaching the area. This is a mandatory evacuation, so yeah, there's a local area emergency in the same place. Just kind of a precursor to that one. Look at this supercell here in Colorado. What, dude? What the heck? There's one supercell in the whole state, and it's looking like this. Well, what's the risk here? I usually do got enhanced. You got a 2% tornado. Yeah, dang, bro. Alright, it's just got kind of shrunken down a little bit. Man, this hook is wrapping up, man. Hook's going kind of crazy. Going a little crazy. That's a crazy looking hook. Yeah, dude, this thing might be getting ready to drop something big here. I'm worried some QLCS thing might drop up here near Sioux Falls. Actually, in Sioux Falls. Down here, I want to see if the models pick this up. I mean, the models were a little slow with these actually, but I mean, the models got us all these, so here we go. The same cells we saw on the models are now here. Boy, do they look mean. We do have reports of a tornado on the ground. Trying to figure out which storm right now, but we do have reports that there is a tornado on the ground. I'm gonna assume it's with this one, but I'm not seeing anything here. Yeah, when I look at this, I'm not seeing any tornado. Maybe over here, but that looks like it's just yeah, I don't think so. Just got a new severe thunderstorm warning in Michigan. Here we go. New severe thunderstorm warning in Michigan. This is on the very east coast of Michigan here. This is for 1-inch hail, 6-mile-an-hour winds. Wouldn't be surprised if we had an isolated tornado risk with this cell down the line here too. I'm not liking the look of either of these two right here. I'm not liking the look of either of these two. You can see these reds. I'm getting really close to these greens. And oh my. Oh, that's just clear air. That's good. This is not clear air though. And that's a concern. Man, look at that hook. That's a classic supercell. Alright, we have a tornado on the ground via storm chaser on this Cairo storm. I don't know if I buy it personally, but we shall see for sure. Oh, never mind. It did just go observed. So we do now have an observed tornado warning. I'm going to assume this is weather spotters. Yeah. So weather spotters have confirmed a tornado on the ground. And my gosh. Yeah, there's a tornado report just came in. No comment with it, but yeah, wow. Alright. So that, dang. Alright. Trying to set something up real quick here. I'm trying to do is not working. Alright, let's see. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works real quick. It works, alright, there we go. That's awesome. Finally got that to work. Let's go. Alright, so there's your rotation with the tornado on the ground. Pure no tornado reported on the ground. I wouldn't think there'd be a tornado on the ground with this at all. If I'm looking in this area for a possible tornado in the future. New speed thunderstorm warning, 70-mile-an-hour gusts. I was looking at some more storms convecting down here. Trying to figure out what boundary this is. This isn't the dry line, is it? Maybe it is the dry line. Do we have cells connecting along the dry line? It does look like we might have supercells convecting along the dry line. Which would... Oh boy. That would definitely make this... That would definitely increase the threat for severe weather. I don't think ARRR got cells connecting along dry line like this. Could be wrong. No, not this early. Did get them eventually, but... Yeah, so we might have some elevated tornado potential with some of these blips trying to form down here. So we're gonna have to watch these as they progress. Oh man, that's gotta be clear air, right? I don't think that's clear air. I would not be surprised if that was a tornado on the ground at that point. Oh man. Okay, that was just a one-off radar scan. That's great to know. Well, yeah, definitely. There's your tornado on the ground. Yeah, well, there it is. So we can have a tornado on the ground near St. Paul and Cairo, Nebraska, heading towards Central City and Palmer. Here's your rotation right in here. Where you got your RFD right in here. You got your inflow in here. And this is yeah, this is a tornado on the ground. I have two chasers nearby right now. We have and we have Sam and Ryan here. So I have Richard. Oh, where'd the warning go? Did you just cancel tornado warning? Nope, there it is. Alright, just a radar indicates tornado warning now. The tornado has lifted. But there is 2-inch hail affiliated with the storm now. So definitely, threat's definitely not over. But there is not a tornado. Over here near Sioux Falls, we have a damaging wind threat with 70-mile-an-hour gusts and a tornado threat as well. I'm thinking especially right in this area near Valley Springs and Bruce and Beaver Creek. Perhaps one all the way back here near Rowena and East Sioux Falls. I don't think they're going to be continuing this tornado warning, but we will see. We do have a 70-mile-an-hour severe thunderstorm warning, considerable tag. So this is a damaging storm, whether there's a tornado or not with this. So treat it as a tornado warning. Man, if there's a hook right here, that'd be insane. You got a little hook like this. Or I guess more like this. I'm just saying, if there's a hook right there like that, man. There is not. Anyway, this tornado warning did get updated. Just got shrunken down a little bit, as you can see. But yeah, so I'd say tornado threat along this kind of line here, and here, maybe even here. So here's your tornado threat for that. Don't think it's definitely not enough for a tornado warning though, so we're likely going to see that expire. This here is not a tornado. This is not a tornado. This is the inflow going into this, and they're just quite close together. It's clear air. If you look at the reflectivity, it's clear air. So there's no rotation there. That is not rotation. Alright, we are having some technical difficulties. I'm trying to figure it out right now. I just had it. Alright, when I get it back, we got a new observed tornado warning. Weather Spires confirmed tornado once again. So we're probably about to see a new tornado report come in momentarily. But, alright, looks like we're back here. But we have another observed tornado warning. I'm gonna add this to the side. Alright, there's our tornado report. From Broadcast Media. So Broadcast Media here near Saint here in Nebraska has reported a tornado on the ground. So Alright, so we're gonna have to watch this cell back here. So it's already showing a classic supercell structure. So this is already a supercell. Again, this is a supercell. And this is a bit more of a messy supercell, but this is a supercell as well. At least it was. I don't know if it quite is anymore, but we definitely have 2 dominant supercells here. And there are more and more forming. Look at these blips starting to go up. Whoa! Whoa, he's got a PDS tornado warning. Whoa! What the heck? That came out of nowhere. Is that the actual... Oh, shoot. Alright. Oh, man. Alright, we got a tornado warning over here. I did say this could become a tornadic supercell earlier. Now it's here. So we have a tornado warning for Cass City, Unionville, Elmtown, all those places. There's now a tornado warning for PDS tornado warning here. I'm gonna make that a different color. Alright, yeah, we have a PDS tornado warning. Man, is that the actual? If that's the actual tornado signature, that is insane. This tornado is just allowed to expire. So we're down to 3 tornado warnings and 8 severe thunderstorm warnings. Because this is being allowed to expire as well. What? I don't think there's a tornado here, Tim Duncan. The heck? What in the world? So, I'm just gonna say this is our tornadic signature here, as it would seem. Oh my gosh. Alright. There's a strong tornado on the ground here. Very strong tornado on the ground. This is a reflectivity debris ball. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is a huge tornado. That's a huge tornado on the ground right now. There's a huge tornado on the ground. What in the world? Oh, I'm seeing pictures of the tornado now. It is a huge tornado. There's a huge tornado with... Oh my gosh. This is a huge tornado with horizontal vortices. Huge tornado with horizontal vortices right now. This is a violent tornado. This is an insane tornado. It's heading towards Fullerton, Clarks, and Columbus. This could be very long-tracked. This could be a long-tracked violent tornado. That is insane. That happened so fast. That was so fast. That was 3 scans and it was boom. My gosh. That is insane. Huge tornado. Very large tornado with horizontal vortices. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing images of it. I can't show them on stream. It's a huge tornado. It's genuinely huge. It's right in there. It's right in there. It's the worst road ever. What the heck? This is genuinely the worst road of all time. It's a huge tornado. Oh my gosh. Insane. That is still a huge tornado. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is insane. Oh. Man, this is an insane tornado. Currently, Nick's Smago is the closest to it, but his stream is definitely struggling. Possibly as a result of alright. Alright. Tornado warning in Michigan continues for Cassidy, Unionville, and Gagetown. If it touches down, it's gonna be rain wrapped, very rain wrapped, and I need to fix this. 1 second. We do not have a tornado emergency, but yeah, why the heck? Be nice to have my stuff working in case there is a tornado emergency. Alright, there we go. Man, why is all my stuff broken? This is not the time for my stuff to be broken right now. Look at all these cells fire. Man, what the heck's going on? Man, what the heck? It's all broken. My gosh. Alright. bear with me while I try to figure out how to fix this. Okay. Okay, there we go. Everything should be fixed. Oh man, alright, so we do have reports of vehicles toppled. There might have been chasers hit by this tornado. I'm seeing some damage as well. It's not good. No, this is not a good tornado. This is not good. We're gonna have a cell merger on the back side of this here. Yeah, we're gonna have a cell merger on the back side of this momentarily. I have to test this real quick again. It's working. Okay. Whew. Again, I'm really unprepared for this. Oh my gosh. There we go. Everything should be good. But this tornadic circulation is near Palmer now. Man, that happened so quick. What in the world? It shows to you. We were watching it around here. Tornado got issued. Look how fast that happened. Now we're having a cell merger. It's probably about it's recycling. It's probably about to drop again. A new mesoscale discussion has been issued. Tornadoes are all possible with mature sustained supercells. And, yeah. So we're gonna have to keep a close eye on a lot of these storms. Yeah. Alright, so it does look like this Palmer tornado is recycling. The velocity curve is starting to pick back up a little bit. We still do have a PDS tornado warning, however, for this tornado, or for this supercell, I should say. So, this is a PDS tornado warning for Fullerton, Palmer, and Clarks in Nebraska. We still have a tornado warning in Michigan for Cass City, Elmwood, and Gagetown, Unionville. You're just about in the clear for that. But it looks like the dry line's convecting. A couple models did not show the dry line actually convecting, so this is definitely interesting. Alright. So, this Palmer supercells, that happened really quick. Oh my gosh. Like 3 scans in the world. My attention's being called down to 80% probability of a watch being issued. Mesoscale discussion down south. This is for Kansas and Oklahoma and even Texas. Pretty sure, yeah, a little bit of Texas. This is an upgrade from the 40% that it was before. Where SBC is saying at least isolated supercells are possible later this afternoon into the early evening. The conditional risk of very large damaging hail is high, along with the risk of a couple tornadoes, and the area is being monitored for initial deep convection. So, definitely, yeah, definitely something we need to be watching. It looks like perhaps this is trying to go outflow dominant, perhaps. Velocity is not looking nearly as tornadic as it was before. It might just be the result of a cell merger, which I do actually think that is what it is happening. But this just get downgraded, so we no longer have a PDS tornado warning. We got a new tornado warning in Colorado. So, go. You can go.
Okay, that supercell that we've been watching that had the PDS tornado warning on it that unfortunately just got dropped. I do believe that is a successful cell merger, and the updraft base of the storm is now beginning to latch back on to the surface boundary that you can even kind of see on radar if you just take the camera south a little bit. I'm watching a stream. I see the shelf cloud transitioning into some sort of base. It's turning into scud underneath, and it's rising, no longer moving like outflow would, personally, from what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing a little bit of a hook echo starting to form back up on the Palmer storm. So definitely something to watch, but if too many storms interact with this cell, it will turn into a line.
All right.
Also, um, I would watch that storm near Superior, Nebraska, right on the border of Kansas and Nebraska.
All right. So, that last part was about this supercell here in near Superior, Nebraska, and Weber, Kansas, where currently it has a severe thunderstorm warning for 1.25-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. But again, we have convection up and down the dry line here, so we will have to be monitoring all of this. But it looks like it is kind of starting to merge together very quickly. But we'll see what happens here in the south, where we might be seeing even more convection. let's go to our Colorado tornado warning right now near Burlington. We are looking at this cell right here, and it has a little kind of extrusion here. That looks to be our area of interest. I'm not seeing any definitive rotation right now, but it could be something right up here. And that could be what they're warning, but it looks like what is actually happening is there's a bunch of possible eddy rotations, quick little spin ups that they could be warning with this kind of cluster. Alright. What the? There's a tornado report in Oklahoma. Southeast Oklahoma. 20 minutes ago. From Tim Duncan. It's the text. Alright. Alright, bro. Tim Duncan says EF3 tornado on the ground. Veloent tornado. Awesome. Good to hear. I am hearing some damage. Trees shredded, rolled vehicles, and completely destroyed structures. This is... wow. I also have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for 4-inch hail. That's insane. So there's 4-inch hail with this storm, as well as a possible tornado. Actually, I just jinxed myself. Just got downgraded to 2.75 inches. So they're listening in on me, and they are not nice people. The heck? Okay. Alright, so here is our area of interest just north of Archer. I believe our old mesocyclone is right here, kind of occluding into the storm. This is our new one, trying to develop near Archer. We might even see a new tornado try to touch down here.
Getting more range PMS
in the future. So this is the next closest radar, bro. Oh my gosh. Okay. There is a lot of upper level rotation. There's a pretty strong upper level rotation right now from the other radar site, but it looks to just not be translating really to the ground right now. Alright. So, they did just put a severe thunderstorm watch out. In front of this cell right here that is currently tornado warned. So that is something we have to watch. again, would not be surprised if we see a new watch here for the Oklahoma, Kansas, and even a little bit of Texas, maybe. What in the world is happening near Magnolia? Magnolia, Minnesota. What in the world? Alright. 2-inch hail also on this tornado warning in Michigan for Cass City. I need a better fan in here. Alright. Currently, we just got a tornado warning in Minnesota for that Magnolia storm I was just talking about. So that now just got a tornado warning for Magnolia. Radar indicated rotation with this storm. Now just get updated. I think our tornado watch just got updated. I think that's what just happened. I believe so. Alright. Well. Alright. Current tornado warning for Fullerton, Clarks, Silver Creek. You're probably about to get a tornado warning in the future. This tornado warning just got updated. In Colorado. Alright, back up here to our Fullerton / Palmer storm. I believe it's undergoing a cell merger. I-10 is being drawn down to the Superior storm, which is looking increasingly mature. Man, that is a mature supercell. That is a very mature supercell. This really could do something big here. Whole bunch of blips popping up here in Oklahoma as well. Alright. Fullerton storm just got a tornado warning update, just kind of condensed the warning box a little bit. Palmer is no longer in a tornado warning. Fullerton and Clarks is still in a tornado warning though. Let's go up to our Magnolia storm. What in the world? What a reflectivity presentation. It just looks very outflow dominant to me. That looks completely outflow dominant. Dang. Yeah, we just had a huge tornado on the ground. Down here in Nebraska. That's only the first of the day. these storms down here near Lincoln, Kansas is definitely growing upscale quite quickly. But again, we have some cells down here in Oklahoma and actually this is Kansas and Oklahoma. Yeah, even have a little blip here near Greensburg. Alright. Yeah, we have blips all up and down the dry line right now. Some are a bit more than blips, obviously, but let's look back at our Magnolia tornado warning cell. Again, this is just honestly completely outflow dominant. We might have a couple spin ups, but for the most part, this looks completely outflow dominant. Oh, there's a trail of tornado reports behind this thing. Wow. Alright. Well, dang. Yeah, I don't know if these blips are really gonna... I don't know, they're kind of struggling a little bit, it looks like. If this superior cell makes a right turn here, it could be big. There's not a lot of really anything tornadic that I am seeing with this Fullerton storm. So we'll have to see what happens here, but not looking very tornadic right now. Alright. Let's look back at our Michigan tornado warning. It's most likely going to be allowed to expire here. None of our chasers that we have here right now are seeing...
Probably going south.
Yeah, none of the chasers are seeing this right now. We have access to. But yeah. So Superior Storm is still looking quite mature. And dang, bro. Man, I'm seeing more images of the tornado and damage. It's just insane. That was a big time tornado. It's a big time tornado. Alright, so we have multiple cells kind of nudging into this here. This could be very constructive or very destructive here. So we shall see which one of the two it favors. Minnesota Storm just got its tornado warning updated. It is not upgraded, it's updated. Here is a video from Sarah of that tornado earlier.
Oh, it's speeding up. I gotta go. Here it comes! Ooh, I gotta go.
That's a monster. Alright. Oh, he's got another update on our Michigan tornado warning. It just was allowed to expire. So we're down to 3 tornado warnings. Alright. Another mesoscale discussion here. And this is an old one. This is an old one. This is from about 30 minutes ago. Just completely alpha dominant on that Minnesota one, it looks like. I don't know why that's tram one. I think we have to watch this storm that's to the south now. I think we're starting to see a little bit of spin right here in between Palmer and Central City. It's trying to form a little bit of a hook too, it looks like. So that might be our new storm to watch. Yeah, the Fullerton storm is looking way too clustered at this point. That storm is likely gone for at least a little bit. Do have a considerable severe thunderstorm warning down here for all of these, for all this, for this cluster down here. These blips seem to be struggling. There might be a cap in place right now to prevent. Yeah, that might be preventing from really getting going here. There's not a PS21 right now. But yeah, I'm looking at this area right in here for a possible tornado in the future. The superset doesn't look super mature yet, so it'll be quite a ways in the future, but we just got upgraded to 12 tornado warnings. Or not tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. Yeah, there is a major tornado damage from this. Damn, yeah, this is... Wow. There is... Yeah, that was a strong tornado. Dang. Now 13 severe thunderstorm warnings. They're going up in numbers quickly. This is for this storm right here that's kind of developing here near White Rock. For 60 mile an hour winds and 1.25 inch hail. 1.5 inch hail with our superior storm right now. We might be starting to try to see a little nudge of inflow get pushed in here. We just got a third tornado warning. In Michigan again. This is the same storm it's trying to do it again. Oh, we're using Canadian radars. Okay, that's the closest one. Wow. Alright, so there's your rotation right there near New Greenleaf and Wickware. The Dower Raxpol, some kind of radar on wheels, was on the Palmer storm, so that might be interesting to see here whenever that gets released. I think we might be trying to see a little bit of inflow trying to infiltrate here near Adrian. I wouldn't say it is about to produce a tornado or anything like that, but certainly something to watch for. Tornado warning was canceled in Colorado, or allowed to expire, I should say. Oh my gosh. Seeing some of the Dow data right now, oh my gosh. They released some preliminary kind of just pictures that they took. But man. Yeah, there was horizontal vortices in that thing. That is insane. Might just that tornado of the day. I think Reed Timmer was on it as well. I just had tornado of the day just now. This tornado warning has been updated. Yeah, that is. Wait. That might be trying to do something here. Right at the very front of the hook, where we would be seeing an interaction with the rest of the line, kind of right in here. So, that might be trying to do something. At the very front of the hook, near Adrian in Minnesota. Superior Storm looks pretty high based right now, so I'm not seeing a lot of immediate tornado potential out of this storm, but that could very well change into the future. While we have a little lull in really significant severe weather here, let's look over our outlooks for today and tomorrow. Today we have a alright. Today we have an enhanced risk of severe weather in the orange shaded region. This is driven by a 15% hatch tornado threat and a 10% SIG 1 tornado threat in the red and yellow. It's also driven by the 45 and 30% SIG 1 wind threats in the pink and red, and a 30% SIG 1 hail threat in the red. So in the northern mode, very northern mode near Sioux Falls, all the way to Rochester, Minnesota, we're looking at a damaging wind threat primarily, kind of getting less significant as you go south. But as you go south into Colorado and into Kansas and Nebraska, a hail threat becomes dominant. But there is an area near Lincoln, Omaha, Sioux City, Columbus, West Point, Wayne, and Iowa and Nebraska, where tornadoes are your primary threat. Now, tomorrow we have a rare day 2 moderate risk of severe weather. For day 2, moderate risk of severe weather from Wichita through Topeka and up towards the Lincoln, Omaha area. Doesn't quite reach there, but this is driven by a 15% SIG 2 tornado risk for tomorrow. The SIG 2 reaches just south and west of Wichita up to Auburn, Nebraska. There's a 30% SIG 1 wind risk for tomorrow. 30% reaches all the way up into the UP of Michigan, but there's no stippling SIG 1 area there. SIG 1 kind of starts near Waterloo, Iowa, and goes all the way down towards Wichita Falls in Texas in the Red River. Tomorrow there's also a 45% SIG 2 hail risk in the pink and red regions in Wichita and Topeka and Marysville and Manhattan, Kansas. On the day 3 outlook, we have a widespread 15% risk of severe threats with a SIG 1 stippling in from the Red River to the Mexico border. Past that point, there are no outlined risks of severe weather, but there might be a chance of severe weather in the Northeast on Wednesday. Alright. Michigan tornado warning just got updated. Alright. It's such a tiny storm. But that just kind of made the warning box a little bit smaller, so people that are in Cass City and Wickware can get out of their storm shelters. We're watching this rotation near Central City kind of start to intensify a little bit, or kind of start to establish itself. A severe thunderstorm warning, considerable severe thunderstorm warning, just got issued for this area for 1.75-inch hail and 6-mile-an-hour winds. We also just lost that tornado warning. That tornado warning was canceled in Nebraska. Alright, let's look at this tornado warning near Rushmore, Minnesota, where it still looks very outflow dominant. I don't really expect this to produce a tornado anytime soon, but as we saw with our PDS tornado warning earlier, things can happen really quickly, so it's got a destructive severe thunderstorm warning for 2.75-inch hail and 70-mile-an-hour winds. So this is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning now in Nebraska. Seeing some damaged pictures of vehicles and structures. Looks like there was a pickup truck completely destroyed. Alright. Yeah, what in the world? The SPC is noting for this mesoscale discussion down here that isolated supercells are possible with very large hail and a tornado risk. The moisture quality is increasing, and it's looking there could be temperatures above 95 degrees in some of these areas, so that could be a reason why storms are struggling a little bit. We now have 19 speed thunderstorm warnings. Will it get to 20? We will see. I might be. Wait, I'm gonna have to watch this. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Alright. Um. I don't know why I'm only able to see. What in the world? There we go. Wasn't able to see like half the chasers. The heck? That was weird. That was really weird. I was wondering why there were so little chasers. Let's fix this up here.
People on it.
It looks super outflow dominant. Whew. We might be looking at this, but I don't know, man. Looks mega outflow dominant right now. So Sheer will be taking over here somewhat momentarily, so we're gonna this here, it's gonna kind of be right here. That should be good, right?
Everyone, I don't know if you can hear me, but there's quite a bit to update you on. I stepped away from the radar for a moment, and now Drew is stepping away from the radar. But there is a new mesoscale discussion for Tornado Watch over areas of Iowa and Minnesota right now, with an 80% chance of issuance. The discussion talks about the QLCS that's currently moving through off to the west. That's where we have that tornado warning in Minnesota. But there's a couple of discrete cells that have managed to fire ahead of this line. Those could pose a threat in the future. But the majority of the watch is talking about the line that's going to be coming through. So keep that in mind. It seems like there's going to be a QLCS threat up here. There's a new initiation near Elk Point, south of Sioux Falls in South Dakota. Our main storms that we've been watching are looking a little bit more decent, very jumbled together, but there's more evident rotation kind of all along the front side of the storm. New convection is going up along an intersection with the dry line and some sort of, I think that maybe the cold front in Nebraska right now, south and east of Grand Island. The storm over Central City is starting to look a little bit more supercellular, and I'd bet you that that would be our next tornado warning here in the next 10 minutes or so. But the storm down near Harvard, Nebraska, blew up in just a couple of frames due to boundary interaction, excuse me, and genuinely could be our next storm to watch. I see the storm, it almost looks like 3 separate cells fired in one place, but I can tell that's some sort of supercell development happening right now. There's also the storms to the south of that have just blown up as well, near Hardy, Nebraska, near Superior, Nebraska. There is another storm there that's starting to look a little bit more supercellular and may pose a tornado threat later on as it gets more organized. Everything's just starting to go now, so let me see where his stream is currently. See what it's watching. It's okay, it's an overview. We're probably going to get a tornado warning here in Central City if it manages to do a full cycle here. Still pretty high bases down here near the Kansas-Nebraska border. But if the storm merger is successful in the way that I think it's going to be, it could change that. Now it makes sense why there's a 10% tornado risk down here, because if any storm mergers go the right way, like we saw earlier, they could clearly take off. We have 2 tornado warnings. Actually, I think it's 1 now. Nope, still 2. We've got 1 all the way up here in Michigan still. Still some rotation with that storm. It's kind of hard to see now. It's only visible on Canadian radar, and those are not the same bandwidth as our radars, which I believe are K-band for the most part. If you're interested in what radar bands are, I will be making a video on that, and I'm going to ask Drew if he wants to help with it. Storm in question near Central City looks a little bit more organized now than it did before, but I still don't see much going on, to be honest. Got a weird left split with a hook echo here, north of Bradshaw, northeast of Aurora, Nebraska. There's probably some strong winds and hail with that, as well as the fact that it's going to meet up with this line. I don't know how it's going to interact. Central City cell is getting a backside storm nudger in the RFD region. And this cell is going to come up and interact with the hook echo. Their hooks are going to interact. I don't know. Is going to be. Sorry, I don't know what is going to be the result of that. Interesting storm modes, interesting evolution. The first storm of the day ended up producing what I would assume to be is a strong to violent tornado. We'll call it intense. Still a tornado warning up here in Worthington, Minnesota, for places also included like Brewster, Heron Lake, Okabena, Rost, Sioux Valley, Round Lake. Still kind of seeing some supercells pop up ahead of the QLCS. Also some interesting formations to the north, up near Tracy, Minnesota. I want to bring the focus back down here, though, because I think the storm that's on the Nebraska-Kansas border is beginning to transition to a surface-based storm. If it can do something before this next merger, then we'll have to watch it specifically. But still looking at the Central City supercell, it is more imminent now than it was before. I can tell from Storm Chaser video there is now an updraft base, a circular one at that, under the potential area of rotation here, now just east of Central City. Velocity shows it to be slightly behind, so it's a little interesting. It all comes down to the storm interactions here, because we've got a left split over Arborville, Nebraska, moving north. That's going to interact with the line. We could get a big spin up. And my attention has completely shifted down to the Hebron, Nebraska supercell, where I'm watching Storm Runner Media right now. And the storm's looking a little bit more impressive now than just 20 minutes ago. Little update on our Kansas-Nebraska border storm near Hebron, Nebraska, and Deschler. I see Scud now forming under the base, so keep an eye out here. Tornado warning is probably imminent in the next 20 minutes. If it can survive this next storm merger, there's a left split near Republic just to the south. That will kill the probability of a tornado with this, but it looks like it's trying to do it now. Also watching just east of La Crosse, Kansas, the southern end of the QLCS that formed here, or little squall line, looks a little interesting. Has that shape to it. We still have a very big hailstorm off to the west in Colorado. Has had a tornado warning or two over the last hour or so, but it just maintains its strength as it just completely zooms east, probably over 60 miles an hour. New tornado warning. There's a tornado warning for Tarnov, Nebraska, Humphrey, Nebraska, Creston, Nebraska, areas downstream, Lay, Clarkson, Pilger, Wisner, and Howells. That's a very strong velocity signature. That's a very strong signature. It might just be range folded for me, but we now have a full line of storms. Tornado warning in Michigan has expired, it seems. But we now are watching this very long tornado warning. QLCS-like structure. I don't even see a rotation anymore. Just vanished. Yeah, our Deschler storm is the one. It's trying to wrap up big time. I would still take caution here with this Humphrey tornado warning, but look-wise, it just doesn't give me that impression that it's on the ground. There's not even really a rotation signature like there was a frame ago. This that I'm looking at doesn't look tornado warning even worthy of a tornado warning, I should say. Big mess of severe warnings, a lot of which are considerable. So there's going to be some strong wind and large hail moving through. That's pretty much guaranteed at this point. Might be a semi-discrete, almost type supercell in Worthington right now. It's QLCS, but it is spun up quite incredibly. I would heed that tornado warning as soon as you can. There is definitely an area of rotation over the town. Could set down a tornado with that type of structure. Still a little bit of development out ahead of the QLCS in the 10% region. Very well could be a new storm mode developing now. The models have failed to pick up on a lot of this convection. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say right now. There's not much going on. Everything that I talked about in the last 15 minutes has started to downtrend. Still no word on when Drew will be back, but I just don't see this continuing for very much longer. We do have a new tornado warning. This velocity data is garbage. Another area of convergence on the edge of the QLCS. Big long tornado warning. There's a supercell forming ahead of it.
All right. Hello. So, we have multiple tornado reports coming out of this cell near Worthington, where we're currently looking at this definitely does not look nearly as outflow dominant as it did previously, but it doesn't look it doesn't look like a crazy supercell or anything either. Do have two other tornado warnings here, just along the line complex that is now formed. And let's just see if what the convection's doing down here. Alright. Alright. Just get a tornado watch up here near in Mason City. Alright, so I think we are going to end stream here. Due to lack of really activity, we just have a two or three line segments that will produce damaging winds, upwards of 70-mile-an-hour winds as it advances eastward, but otherwise little to no tornadic activity right now. So for that reason, I think we are going to end the stream. But let me do something here before the stream ends, and we are going to redirect you. I'm gonna redirect you right here. I'm gonna redirect you to the max velocity live stream. But appreciate you tuning in, and stay weather